Hey, what's happening, guys? Just want to talk today real quickly about why your fitness, your strength, your health, your performance goals have failed and what to do about it. Especially this time of year, this is the time, right? New Year's resolutions, everybody's making them, and so many of us either have made at one time or another resolutions to get in shape, maybe lose some weight, maybe get stronger, start working out, right? And have these kind of fitness and health and performance goals that we have. And then what happens is that maybe we go really good for a month or a couple of months, but then before we know it, we start really kind of seeing that we're not getting the results that we want. We're not really, making the progress that we want, or we're not where we think we should be. And, the goals that we set really aren't happening. And really it's sad because it's really a very, very, very high percent. Most people that set goals, and I'm not just talking about New Year's resolution type goals, but just, setting any kind of health, fitness, performance type goals, very, very few people ever achieve them. And an even smaller percent of the people that do achieve them actually maintain the results that they get. So this is like a big epidemic that goes on. So if you're not, achieving your goals, first and foremost, know that, you're not alone. This isn't something that is just happening because there's something wrong with you. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't have the willpower or the motivation. It's not because you don't have a big enough reason why. It's not because you don't want it bad enough. All these things that we're told about achieving goals, this is a lot of times what happens, what we're led to believe. And we start kind of developing these thoughts and these feelings and these beliefs that, something's wrong with us when we're not achieving the goals that we set. The reality is that the way that we're taught to set goals and what we have to do to achieve goals really is the thing that sets us up for failure. So we're actually setting ourselves up for failure from the get-go because of the way that we're taught to go about setting and achieving our goals, right? And it's like I just mentioned, if we're at a place where we're having to rely on motivation and willpower and wanting things bad enough and all of these things and having to, repeat like positive affirmations and, or create vision boards and, all this kind of stuff, right? That's part of the problem, because it's not a problem with that. And we're always thinking of a million different things. If you think about these are all based on strategies that have us trying to do more things, right? We have to do more things. We have to write things down. We have to exercise more, or we have to, develop all these kind of strategies to eat healthier. And, there's all of this kind of these things on our to-do list. We have to do more. Here's the problem with it, though. The one thing that we're not being taught is to identify and eliminate the things that are holding us back from doing what we need to do. See, it's never really, I kind of believe that it's not really that we don't know what to do, right? For the most part, I think we do. For the most part, we know how to eat healthy. For the most part, we know when we eat things that don't agree with our body. For the most part, we know that we need to exercise more, or we need to lift weights, or, we need to do these things. The problem is, though, that knowing what we need to do doesn't get us to actually be consistent and do these things. So we have more trouble with implementing what we know we need to do. And the reason why that happens is because we have kind of these, a lot of times there's just subconscious kind of, things, maybe, blocks, if you want to call them that. And these could be kind of inner blocks that we have within us. Maybe you're aware of what those blocks are that are keeping you from doing the things you need to do to achieve your goals. But a lot of times they're subconscious, right? Meaning that, we're just not aware of what they are. And they drive everything, right? Because our subconscious mind drives almost all of our actions and our behaviors, the things that we do. It's driven from our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, right? It's all driven from that. So it's really not about like having to add all these things to do, because that's not going to get you to do those things, right? That's not going to make you be more consistent. That's not going to get you to make the changes you need to make. It's kind of like trying to drive a car and you hit the accelerator and you can hit that accelerator and boom and pedal to the metal it. But it's like having that, but then you have the brakes on, right? You have the emergency brake on, your foot's on the brake pedal. So as hard as you're hitting the accelerator, you haven't let go of the brake. So all that's going to happen is you're going to use a lot of energy and a lot of effort and waste a lot of time trying to go somewhere where you're not really able to go because you haven't got rid of the thing that's holding you back, meaning releasing the brakes, right? So it's kind of like, today what I want you to think about here is not what do you need to add, what more do you need to do, but to think about it from a different perspective. What are the brakes that are holding you back right now? What is it that's keeping you stuck and keeping you from doing the things you need to do to achieve your goals? That's what I want you to think about today, and identify at least one thing that that's holding you back. All right? Because once we identify what's holding us back, then now we can make changes. Now we have the power within ourselves to do something about it. And it's not about adding a million things to our to-do list. It's about really identifying and addressing, eliminating the things that hold us back from doing, having what we most want, achieving these strength, these fitness, these health and performance goals that we have. So I hope that helps. Identify the one thing. That's my one take-home message from today, is identify the one thing, at least one thing that's holding you back from achieving the goals that you set. And then list it in the comments below. All right, I hope that helps. Have an awesome day. Do this one. Let me know. Let me hear what you've come up with. And always, always remember, you are unstoppable.